Sorry.
I tried to make it easy.
Yeah, you did. Do you want to go over there where you got some butter? Thank you all for coming out on this holiday weekend. I was hoping that some of you would decide that you wanted to come and see this. I am very grateful to be here, and I'm also excited to share this with you. So, hopefully all our technology will work and will be wonderful. So, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. How many of you have gone to Egypt with John? Raise your hand. How many of you would like to go or go back again? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'm going to take you there tonight and share some of the heritage of our Coptic philosophy. When Alan and I went in November 2016, it was a life-changing experience. I was in this constant state of awe at all the amazing places we went. Whoops, sorry. Alan witnessed most of Egypt through his camera and his video camera, so because of that, I'm able to give you this presentation. Counting John, there were 13 of us, and we walked many miles, laughed a lot, and learned more than I can even begin to remember about the wonders of ancient and modern Egypt. So briefly, I'm just going to show you some of the things. These are some of the temples and tombs we saw. And I like this one because in those hieroglyphs, there is modern transportation, possibly UFOs. So I had to include this picture. Speculation here. Monasteries, we saw monasteries and churches. This is the Coptic Orthodox Church and the Coptic symbol. And many beautiful art and artifacts. This is one of my favorites. I got a papyrus of this picture. And this is significant because in Abydos, there's this whole wall. This shows the entire succession, the history of all of the kings and pharaohs. So that's how come they know who was ruling when. This was the wall that gave them that information. Probably. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Yeah, we're getting there. So, and of course we saw the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid, which we will get to in a bit. Besides too many souvenirs, we took home warm and rich memories of very many beautiful, friendly people, and saw a culture quite unlike ourselves, our own. Snake charmers in the middle of a plaza with 2 live snakes. These were our travel guides, Abdullah, Ratiba, and Ahmed. And they took such great care of us. They kept us organized from the moment we arrived at the airport till when we left and we were literally out of their sight. They made sure we were completely safe. They took us from place to place. We a lot of times were escorted by police, and we learned that the guy that was sitting next to Abdullah a lot was the armed guard who was there to protect us. Ahmed was our Egyptologist, and from the very start, he dazzled us with his knowledge and humor.
My name is Ahmed, and we have 50% of the male of the Egyptians are named Ahmed and Muhammad, okay? So that's why I have decided to change my name, okay? So you can call me the little Tut, you know King Tut, okay? Because there is only one King Tut in our Egyptian history, and that's why I decided to take this unique name. Our beautiful day. I will start by teaching you 2 words today. We have agreed that every day we will learn 2 Arabic words, and by the end of the tour you will be speaking perfect Arabic. The first word is how to say good morning. Okay, we say Sabah el Khair. If you want to write it down, it is Sabah el Khair. Good morning. Yeah, Sabah el Khair. El Khair. No, el Khair, not hair. If you say Sabah el Khair, that means like the morning hair.
So on the long bus rides, Ahmed talked about the history of the country and gave us so much information and a lot of perspectives on the ancient and modern Egypt. These are just a few highlights that I thought, for me, particularly resonated with me. Whoops, wrong button. Sorry. So as we know, Joseph and Mary and Jesus spent time traveling in Egypt. And what was kind of cool, that some of the churches, they have markings and indications saying that Jesus was here. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. These are some of the things we saw that were related to that. And Isis is one of the most powerful Egyptian goddesses. You've probably heard of her. Represents the ideal mother and wife and is goddess of nature and magic. According to legend, her husband Osiris was killed by her brother Set and cut into 14 pieces, which were scattered up and down the Nile River. It is believed that the Nile floods each year as she cries her tears of sorrow. So Ahmed demonstrated for us, by using our members, how Set plotted to kill Osiris. Jordan, who's laying on the ground, was Osiris. Amy, who's on the left, was Isis. Hans is Set. And Jennifer was Nephthys, who is Isis's sister and Set's husband. So as Ahmed starts describing this plot, Jennifer promptly quips, "I want a divorce." He got us all laughing once more. This artifact is with Isis and her son Horus. And it appears that it could have influenced the early Christian art, which with Mary and baby Jesus. Okay, for you, Laura Joy. Queen Hatshepsut. Said it. Her temple is south of Cairo near Luxor. Her reign as pharaoh lasted more than 20 years, and she is regarded as one of the most successful and prosperous rulers of ancient Egypt. Her greatest achievement was being the first female to have full power as a pharaoh at a time when there was opposition to women leaders. Has there ever been a time when there hasn't been opposition to women leaders? Because her name is difficult to pronounce, Ahmed suggested we could call her Queen Hot Chicken Soup.
I call it hot ketchup.
Hot ketchup, okay. Okay, some facts about Cairo. It's over 9 million people. It's extremely chaotic and full of smog and soot. We had the luxury of going from place to place in these nice, clean, air-conditioned buses, and we were grateful for our bus driver as we watched him try to navigate through all these difficult roadways. There are very few traffic lights in Cairo, so they use the horn as a signaling tool. So imagine getting to work like this.
Oh, there's no traffic lights here? Oh. Well, then that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Someone just walking through.
Well, I would not want to be a pedestrian trying to do that. I know, right? And the little kids, did you see them? They're really killing at traffic out there between Well, no one's napping now.
This is how you get through an intersection?
Oh my gosh! This is great. I love it. It's probably like New York, do you think? Oh, how many people die in these intersections every day? I mean, even the pedestrians. This is so cool.
So it does not look like fun. As you know, the pyramids and the Sphinx have great significance to our Coptic philosophy. They represent the human journey through the spiritual and material planes. I brought this. This is the first book of the home study course that you get if you take Coptic teacher training. And this is a very cool book. It talks all about the pyramid mysteries and what the significance is of all the passageways. It's really interesting reading. So seeing them in person, of course, is incredible. I was surprised to learn that contrary to common belief, the pyramids were not built by slaves. Excavations near the Sphinx indicate that workers were not only skilled, but were recruited for the task. They lived in pyramid towns near the project site for periods of 3 to 4 months with their families. They were paid with goods and supplies such as loaves of bread and jugs of beer. That's probably why they're so happy. They were also given time off and paid vacations. When the pyramids were first built, they were covered in polished limestone. This was to protect them from the humidity of the Nile River, which was much closer at the time. I found this picture. It's a speculation of what they may have looked like 4,600 years ago, which is kind of cool. Part of our experience was to go into the area between the Sphinx's paws. According to Hamid Bey, the Sphinx is the spiritual entrance to the Great Pyramid. John conducted a ceremony there for us, and we just absorbed the energy that was present. Our next experience was to go inside the Great Pyramid. We walked up the ascending passageway and entered into the King's and Queen's chamber. Now, the entry to the Queen's chamber is very small. It's about 4 feet high and 15 feet long. To get through it, you either need to crawl on your knees or walk bent over, which was an advantage of being short. At first, I found it very difficult to face, but thanks to Phyllis, we distracted ourselves from the claustrophobia and we sung loudly as we went through the tunnel. It opens up into a small room, and we sat there for a while and caught our breath. And it resonated with an interesting energy, and I believe it was you, Michael Joyce. Some people commented on how it sounded like there was some humming in the room. No, you said it in the, some people heard it in the Queen's. Oh, really? Did I remember that wrong?
I don't know. I know we were all singing,
Yeah.
but the King's Chamber is where.
Oh, okay. Then I did read. Okay. Well, coming out of the Queen's chamber, This is called the Grand Gallery, and this leads to the King's Chamber. And to get to, this is just the first part of the walkway. To actually get to the King's Chamber, there is a very skinny ladder, 70 or 80 steps, and they are practically straight up, which was another challenge. The King's Chamber is much larger with a different energy than the Queen's Chamber, and I guess you're saying that's where you guys heard the humming? Okay. At one end, and I must admit, these Alan didn't take. We weren't allowed to take pictures in there. I found these on the internet because I wanted to show you what it was like. There was a sarcophagus at one end, and a couple of people got in it and said it was pretty amazing energy. It's just an empty stone sarcophagus. Yes, it was definitely cooler in there. They are saying they don't believe, I've been doing a lot of reading about this, that even though it was built for Cheops, that it was never actually used as a tomb. So there's great speculation on what was the pyramid built for. In between where the pyramids are, there's this big open area, and vendors were providing camel rides. So of course we had to all experience a camel ride. And poor Jordan, you know Jordan, he got hijacked and we watched him disappear on a donkey off in the distance. It's like, there goes Jordan. Sitting on a camel was pretty scary. And I was holding on desperately. Meanwhile, Alan's on another camel, and he's like videotaping, right? Holding one hand. So here's Alan's camel ride.
What's your name?
Alan. That's the camel.
Funny.
Hey, Linda. Gonna bring you over here. Smile. أنا أبسي هلوها. هاي هو silver. أنا.
He takes lots of pictures.
Let's smile.
He took lots of pictures.
Okay, now we'll get two of us together. Okay.
Yeah, he says, reach across and get his hand. I'm going, oh, no, let me go.
Okay. Thank you.
So there. So the day after the super full moon, that was the year we had the super full moon, we got up before dawn, took a bus ride, and ended up near the Valley of the Kings and Queens for a unique experience for you.
You see near to the road, this is the temple of the king Thutmose III. Recently, they discovered the entrance to the other side of the road, so they have to move the road. And 1 week they found the sarcophagus of the one of the high priestess of the king. Very beautiful. Wow. Less than 1 week, maybe 2 days ago. Thutmose III. تابوت بتاع خادم الملك. There's no roof
No,
here
what
on
is
the houses,
this?
guys. You see the houses look
Jordan, did you say that
unfinished
was-
houses. The houses here in Egypt never finished. There is no rain in Luxor. It's rain once or twice every year. Each time 5 minutes or less. In the summer, the people they sleep on the top of the houses because much cooler.
Here comes the sun.
Here comes
The sun comes up. I didn't know there were actually monkeys there.
Oh, there's Africa.
Okay, KT, look this way.
He's running for his life. He thinks we're coming in.
How long to Alexandria?
You're all pitched down. Pretty quick right now. You get that. Do you have enough helium to get there? I'm game.
Why Alex?
Why not?
The Mediterranean.
Can't tell you. They're pretty high.
Oh, yeah, it's high.
Okay. No, I mean like on.
It's the chase pieces. When you crew, you have to have it.
We're gonna.
Oh yeah, all these vehicles are getting ready to land the balloons.
So that's
They're gonna have an.
So that was pretty cool. And that's the short version. It was just amazing to see that whole country. So this presentation wouldn't be complete unless I talked about the vendors. Oh, yes. They were everywhere, in your face, trying to sell you something. Not only adults, but kids as well. We often lost Jennifer, Hans, and Sally to random shopping experiences. Ahmed realized early on that we didn't know how to bargain or say no. So he instructed us to let him take the role of negotiator to purchase the things we wanted to buy.
$10, okay? $10. Okay, $6 the same. Said no, thank you. I understand your language.
Yes. $3.
You can't speak my language.
You're not listening.
But you can
Horse blinders, people. Horse blinders. Single file.
One evening during the cruise down the Nile, there was a Galabaya party. Ahmed took us out to buy clothes and we dressed up in Egyptian garb. And of course, there was dancing. You didn't know your director could do that, did you? South of Aswan, we took another boat trip to a very simple village in a place called Nubia. These are things we saw along the way. There, we went to school, browsed a marketplace, and met a baby crocodile.
So now we will have a Nubian song. The Nubian show will be on the boat now, so you got to participate in that show now, okay?
Okay.
Yalla bash. Are you ready? Everybody stand up. 1, 2, 3. Repeat after him. Wo alere, wo alere, wo alere, wo alere. Hello, Edine nalere, wo alere. Hello, Biruri nalere, wo alere. Hello, Mursi nalere, wo alere. El abri badalere, wo alere. Hello, Mutatu nalere, wo alere. Hello, Mutite nalere, wo alere. Hello, Mutiti nalere, wo alere. La 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 lere, wo alere. Bravo. So guys, here we have our teacher. She's going to teach you Arabic alphabet, Nubian number, Arabic numbers. So follow Mr. Omar.
Cigarette number 13, 1966. Here we are.
Look at the stage.
Wow. Oh, wow. Nice. This is really nice.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam. It's Arabic numbers from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In Arabic language, repeat after me please. 1 واحد 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 اثنين 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 ثلاثة 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 واحد اثنين ثلاثة واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة أربعة خمسة خمسة أربعة أربعة خمسة خمسة ستة ستة سبعة سبعة ستة سبعة ستة سبعة ثمانية 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 تسعة 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 عشرة 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 خمسة
خمسة
واحد
واحد
اثنين
اثنين
ثلاثة
ثلاثة
أربعة
أربعة
خمسة
خمسة
واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة
وأتي على ما خمسة خمسة
Finish, no?
Flowers.
Nick. Finish. Go on, go on.
Mom! Jordan! Help! Careful guys, careful! Careful!
Jennifer! Camel alert!
Beautiful. He loves the attention, it looks like, doesn't he?
All of a sudden my camera's acting funny.
You got a gator on your head.
You have no idea.
He's a show game, he's a show crop.
Yeah, they're so significant.
I have to tell you the story. About the gator in my head.
last 2 days.
I will be forever impacted by my Egypt experience. It was a trip of a lifetime. Not only did I face my claustrophobia and fear of heights, but I developed a connection to a culture that resonates with my personal heritage, being that I'm Lebanese. Our group and our travel guides will always be in my heart. Thanks for going on this journey with me. Ma salama.